Okay, hello everybody. This is going to be the first time we've doing this kind of podcast thing. I mean, we've done a version of it before on live. But anyways, I'm here with Kraken Racing Network and we're basically just going to be talking about NASCAR stuff.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
So anyways, today we're going to probably introduce the podcast, introduce ourselves, and then we're going to get into it basically.
I say you start.
So anyways, this podcast we're probably going to do 10 to 15 minute episodes. We're gonna try to do it every week. Probably not because we live lives. And then it's probably just gonna be about the race or something to do with NASMAR. But yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Well, I am Kraken Racing Network, as he said in the intro, and we will be talking all things either NASMAR related or NASCAR related, anything. Like you said, about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't expect one every week. Also, something that he forgot to mention. This first episode will be on AHP's channel, and the second episode will be on my channel, and we're just gonna swap around episodes.
Yeah. And also, this is all to be determined right now, basically. But you'll see if we stick to it or not. Everett Larson Racing. Probably will also link his channel down in the description to if he does say he said he is going to do it, but he can't record one right now, and we have time right now, so we decided we'd just do it. But he possibly will be filming as a third person with us on this podcast thing or whatever we're calling it.
Yeah. So let's get into our first topic today, which is NASMAR.
So basically, very recently actually, you and me have gotten a NASMAR race. Kind of random though, I felt like for
Ironically, they're both road courses.
what?
Ironically, they're both road courses.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that too. I was like, people don't like road courses. Anyways, I think we should talk about how we got them and how. I mean, I know how I got mine, but I have no clue how you got yours.
So we'll start with mine. So the original owner of I'm not gonna say what track it is. You guys just have to wait and see when it comes out on my channel. It's a road course. We all know that. And he had to drop the race. Don't know why, but he just had to drop the race, and it was one of the races I was interested in, but not my top pick. And I just got a DM from Speed Cup Stop Motion saying "Hey, you wanna do this race?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
So yeah, mine was definitely different. I would say, well, cause the track that I got actually was in my top three choices that you do whenever you send it in for the NASMAR race or whatever.
Yeah.
It was in my top three, so I was very excited to get it, cause I don't have great tracks of all of my tracks right now, but I definitely do have some good ones. And the track that I got, I've already announced my track, so I don't have to hide it.
I might have announced my track. I don't know.
I don't think it really matters. But they're both road courses. I'm just gonna say mine because I'm probably gonna say it on accident anyways. But mine's Watkins Glen, and that was one on my list that I wanted to get, and I didn't get originally. But Miller Lite Cup Series, he wanted to do Chicago, because I guess East Coast dropped that one when he left NASMAR.
Left the server, yeah.
And then I was like, well, this is my Watkins Glen track. I mean, it's probably one of my best tracks. And everybody's like, well, it's a pretty good track. We need um, someone to do that race. And Speed Cup Stop Motion. Wait, what's it? Speed Cup?
Speed Cup Stop Motion, yeah.
Okay. And then I was like, welp, wait, what? Okay, hold on. Let me backtrack. Anyways, I was like, he asked me if I had stop motion. I was like, yes. And I sent him the last two races of my season one. And he said that was fine. It was good enough or whatever. And I was going to send him another one that I was like quick editing to show him for my new series. Well, not my new series, my second season that has way better everything, I feel like. And so, yeah, I don't know. Two
I feel
different
like he's gonna
ways.
be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so my race as of right now, sorry for that noise. Anyways, my race as of right now should be coming out around August 10th, like the real Watkins Glen. But yeah, for right now, nothing is decided or official besides the fact that I'm doing Watkins Glen.
Yeah, very interesting, and I'm really excited for the NASMAR season because we have to open up the season. We have GS, I believe, doing the Clash. I believe it's GS. So, and then for the Daytona 500, we have Rodco with that beautiful track that unfortunately wasn't really a race because he was super busy, so we had to rain shorten the race. If I don't know if you remember that last season,
Yeah, I do.
but he's gonna have the Daytona 500, so he almost has like a second shot here, and
Mhm.
that's gonna be a fun race to watch.
Yeah, I have no clue about the schedule. Well, off the top of my head at least. And
So an odd one that Sierra did not go for Chicago. He went for Indy this time. I'm actually really excited to see how that race is gonna turn out.
yeah, I was like, why is Chicago being like handed off even though he had such a good track? I was like, but have you seen what Miller Lite's doing with it right
Oh,
now?
Miller's making a good track right now.
I'm very glad he's the one who got it. He's doing it
He
right.
makes races quickly. I feel like clean up the stop motion a little bit. Okay, stop motion is not my biggest complaint. My thing about Miller or Open Wheel Racing Network, whatever it is now, I kind of forget. He needs to add like pillow fluff for smoke.
Mhm.
He doesn't do it. My biggest pet peeve was like watching the Darlington race. I couldn't see any smoke.
Mhm.
And the finish, he never really had a clear angle of like the finish line, and you couldn't tell what the finish line was because there was like three lines of like the restart zone lines and the finish line. They were all the same. So I would say make an official finish line, add a little bit of smoke, and because your race is like in the middle of the season, spend a little bit more time on it. And I think that's going to be really good.
Well, for him, you also got to take into consideration for at least his NASMAR races that he did like 5 last year or something, and
He
all
only
of
had
them.
like 2 weeks of preparation
Yeah,
to do
so
it.
he was very rushed. So I get why it's not his best quality, but if he does what you
Iowa, I
said,
think,
yeah.
was his best quality.
Huh?
Because that was the race. Iowa, I think, was his best quality because that was the race he originally had.
Yeah.
You can see in the first two stages that was true filming, and then
Mhm.
the last stage was just the rush. Like, okay, I gotta film this, gotta film this. Oh, I gotta do this race.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta do this race. And it just seemed like the final stage of Iowa was so rushed. But I
And then
mean,
there's that flip
those
out of
first
nowhere.
two stages, yeah, that was random. I thought, yeah, but NASMAR is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think this is probably. I mean, every year they've been consistent about getting better. So this year I feel like is going to be a big step up or a big step, not a big step down, but a small step down.
I definitely think last topic I'm going to talk about for NASMAR is I think 2023 was the best NASMAR season. That may sound a little wrong, but I genuinely believe it. You had races like MLCS's Watkins Glen and Phoenix race. The Phoenix race was pure cinema, by the way.
Mhm.
You had Firelynx's regular season finale race with Tyler Reddick going to the moon, which he actually later on predicted it with a Ryan Preece flip. That happened in real life the day after.
Yeah.
And also Bell doing a weight shift photo finish between, I believe it was Allmendinger and Blaney. Was it Allmendinger?
I have
I
no
think it was
clue.
Allmendinger. I mean, what other more iconic races were there?
What year was Miss Craft and the ACS in it?
23.
Yeah, then that's the
That's why I
best
think it's so
season.
iconic. Yeah, how can I forget those? Holy crap! Yeah, ACS Aflac Cup Series. You heard it here. Aflac Cup Series did a NASMAR race. He did Homestead, and that was a really good job. Eric Jones won. Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick made contact last lap. Eric Jones last lap pass for the win. And also Misscraft doing Atlanta. That was a wonderful. I didn't even know Misscraft was in the server. I think he was in the server for maybe 3 months.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Like
then after his race, he left again.
he
So he
popped in
pretty
and then
much just said, popped in, filmed, destroyed everyone, left, no questions asked.
I do feel like it kind of like expanded NASMAR though, because obviously so many people watched them.
That was. Sorry to interrupt you. That was the most viewed NASMAR race of all time.
How many views was it? Do you know, like around?
I think close to 30,000, maybe 40,000.
We all know we're gonna break that record this year.
I might get like 400.
I know they'll definitely go
And
up.
like 320 of them are going to be like the NASMAR members.
Well, my highest one right now is like 210 views. So I mean, it definitely would go up than that. At least for like stop motion, I've had higher views for non-stop motions.
This is something that this was, in my opinion, the most exciting topic that I want to talk about.
Mhm.
We're going to NASCAR, not NASMAR here. The driver changes for 2025 have been
Insane. A bunch of them.
with the with Stuart Haas being gone. Now it's just Haas Factory. 3 of those charters were sold. Those ended up going to Front Row. Well, they first went to Trackhouse for Shane Van Gisbergen. That was the obvious one. That was pretty much confirmed before SHR freaking announced that they were selling their charters. That was going to happen.
Yeah.
And 2311 got it. I really thought, don't get me wrong on this, I really thought Kyle Busch was going to go to 2311 originally because how bad he was doing at Richard Childress.
Mhm.
And then how Herbst performed in the second half of the Xfinity season gave me a little bit of hope, and I'm like, okay, it's going to be down to these two. Herbst got the call up. It's like, okay. And actually, just today, at the time of recording, Zane Smith has been announced to drive the 38 car for Front Row. So
my only question was that why did they have to do 38? I know, like I watched Eric Eastup's video, and y'all know
38, 34, and 4.
Yeah,
Those
like
two were their OG numbers.
well, I get the OG, but like I feel like in the Eric Eastup video, he said how like it could be like 34, 4, and 14. I mean, I'm also just the number 14 fan, I guess, more than a 38 fan. So I guess that's why I'm kind of leaning.
Yeah, I understand because you're a Briscoe fan.
Yeah.
I'm on the side of, having a 38. You want to have those two iconic numbers, and I'm going to circle back to NASMAR. It's going to be freaking easy just using one of our Kevin Harvick and Josh Berry diecasts because they practically have the same font. Let's be real.
Yeah. Well, like,
But
I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all the customs that I have to
I
get.
think the move that has shocked me the most is Ryan Preece to RFK. I genuinely thought he was going to go to the Xfinity Series, replacing Haley Deegan, which now we all know is Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton gets Wood Brothers' 100th win. They said, yes, you got a 100th win, but you were last in points when you won. God dang it, Harrison. How dare you screw over my glorious King Bushy like that? Anyways, he's last in points. He's not doing anything until Daytona. That was really his only good race was Daytona, and ironically, he ends up winning that race. So, I see why the Wood Brothers dropped him. Barry to the 21, I think it's going to be a decent move. I don't think it's going to decline Barry's career too much. But
well,
it should be interesting.
I think the most surprising one, I mean, it's kind of like the first one, I guess, that got announced, was Michael McDowell to Spire. Because I felt like.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that one. I thought he was ruining his career, and then Carson Hocevar and Corey LaJoy. Yes, you heard it. Corey LaJoy, and also Zane Smith went off at Watkins Glen. A third place and 2 top 10s. Third place for Hocevar, and the other 2 got top 10s. Holy moly.
I
Now I'm starting to think that Michael might have just made an upgrade here.
I know, like, Michael McDowell, like, I thought he had such a good, like, I don't know what to call it, but he was so close with, I feel like, with, oh my gosh, I cannot think of the name, Front Row Motorsports. Like, I felt like he had such a strong connection that he would never leave there, and then he ended up leaving, and I'm like, why? But that was, like, the first one, I feel like, that kicked off silly season, and, oh boy, this silly season has been crazy.
Yes, it has. Just another move I'm trying to think of that just completely, like, dumbfounded me is Joe Gibbs with Brandon Jones. I mean, you drop him for underperforming even though your own grandson your own grandson costed him a shot at a championship 4 because he's already locked in. I'm pretty sure most people tuning in already know the story. Gibbs is already locked in. Brandon Jones needs a win to make the Final 4. It's Martinsville. Jones is leading. Last lap, gets taken out by Ty Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
And hear me out. Gibbs is already locked in at this point. He locked in on points. And he takes out his teammate.
And then he celebrates.
And they practically drop him for that.
Yeah, and then he celebrates and goes crazy.
Yeah, anyways, I'm not going to get caught up on that race. Joe Gibbs drops him for underperforming. He underperforms even more in JGR. Not JGR, JRM. Junior Motorsports.
Mm-hmm.
And Junior drops him. And Joe Gibbs just picks him back up like nothing ever happened?
Yeah.
Like, and also, Sheldon Creed going to Haas Factory I think is going to be great, but I think a move that's flying under the radar is Sam Mayer joining him.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know if Sheldon Creed's ever gonna win. I think that's everybody's question.
At this point, I think it's gonna be the meme of like the dude that just couldn't win.
I know. I was at the
Bristol. Knowing him, he's probably gonna win the finale like Hemrick did.
Yeah, I was at the Bristol race with Everett, and he wanted Sheldon Creed to win. I don't. Who was winning that race? I cannot think.
Custer and Allgaier were dominating, and then Allgaier got taken out. Custer, I don't like that one. Sorry for interrupting you. I don't like that one. I still need to find a new driver for Xfinity. I think I'm going to go to Connor Zilisch, but I was a Kligerman fan. And he puts him in the wall. Like, Custer puts Kligerman, stuffs him in the wall, and right there I realized if he wins this race, this is going to be such a dirty win. Mm-hmm. And that's what ended up happening.
Well, like, I know Sheldon Creed finished second in that race. He was, like, really far behind, though. But Everett was going for him, and I was like, because I've never really liked Sheldon Creed because I'm an RCR fan, and you can't really go for him if you're an RCR fan. It's kind of like Reddick, but, like, I still like Reddick because I got to hand him the flag at Bristol. I mean, you can't dislike the first real driver you got to interact with in such a big way.
Yeah, and ironically, I'm a Reddick fan, so.
Yeah, no. Anyways, what do you... I don't know if they've confirmed this or not. What do you think about the two, like, ones that aren't confirmed, I think? It's LaJoy to the 51 and Gregson to the 4. I'm pretty sure Gregson's confirmed, right? I have no clue if he is or isn't. But anyways, LaJoy to the 51. That's been leaked, but not confirmed, right? Where'd he go?
I'm back. Sorry, I did something.
Oh, okay. I was like, where? I'm like.
But I heard you sharing. LaJoy and
Gregson.
Gregson.
Gregson to the 4.
Yeah, he's in. That's confirmed.
That's confirmed. Okay.
LaJoy and Cody Ware fighting for the 51. That's something that I think is going to be super pointless. No matter who you put in that car, it's going to be wrecked in the wall every week. So at this point, whoever brings in the most sponsorship money should get that ride, which should be Corey LaJoy because it's Celsius. But
Yeah, I like
yeah,
Corey LaJoy probably because of Everett
I don't.
having such good connections with him and stuff. And I've gotten to meet him like 43,000 times, it feels like. So that's probably one of the main reasons. But like, he's also very nice whenever you get to talk to him off the track at least.
He seems like a nice dude, but on the track, he's a freaking terrorist.
Well, we still have one more topic, and and, and we're way over time right now. So let's go to move on to the races to look out for in 2025.
I'm just gonna say it, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna. I think it's gonna be either a great race or it's gonna be a crap race. There's gonna be no in between with this race. If I end up being wrong and it's like an okay race, I'll be heavily surprised. And also, I don't know if you heard the rumors of Pato Award trying to get a Project 91 drive for Mexico. I think that's amazing.
Anyways, well, then I put down for Bristol Spring. I don't know if, I mean, because like there was such a good race at Bristol in the spring this year. Then there's a terrible, crappy, no good race in the fall for the night race. So now I'm wondering if there's going to be a way if it stays down to like if it stays super bad, or if it goes back and then the spring race is good and then they get rid of the night race. But they would never get rid of the night race even if it's terrible just because everybody likes it. So it's this big old thing for me being.
It's like the fourth. It's like the fourth crown jewel. That's like not four. Like it's like the fifth crown jewel that like doesn't really get any credit. It's the Bristol night race.
Yeah.
The Bass Pro Shops 500. You can't. It's like NASCAR being an idiot and get rid of the Brickyard 400, which they've done, by the way.
But like, I feel like if the racing continues to be this bad during the night and this good during the day, that's definitely because of the.
It was so good in the spring is because it was so cold and the tires wouldn't rubbering down and they were just chunking and they were blowing out and it was chaos.
I was there.
This next gen car definitely needs some working to do because it takes 25 degrees outside on the short track to make these cars race good.
Well, it wasn't that cold because the night race would have been colder because I was there at both of those races, and I don't recall.
The day race was cold. The track temp was really cold.
Well, I do recall it being cold for like a day race, but like still for the night race, it was way colder. I mean, I don't know if I'm remembering things wrong, but I don't know.
The day race, I remember the announcer saying was like 35 degrees outside.
I don't remember. I just watched the race.
And also Tennessee in September. That's never gonna.
Yeah, that's fair.
Be a really cold night, but I'm gonna go with any of the Rockingham races, Truck and Xfinity. I definitely think that's either going to be really good or really bad. Same with Mexico. I think I'm personally leaning more to the good side.
Yeah, I think it's
good. I'm just saying it for the nostalgia reasons. Also, you got to go with the super speedways. You got to go with Daytona. You got to go with Talladega. Those are also going to be really fun to watch out for because 3 wide, 4 wide race. Who doesn't love that?
Wait, okay. So we should do a little prediction segment really quick. How many flips do you think there will be in just the Cup Series this year?
I was about to say, are we talking all series or just Cup? I'm gonna go 3.
3? Okay.
I'm gonna go 3.
So I guess.
And hear me out. We're gonna have 2-in-1 race. Is that it?
Okay.
2-in-1 race.
So you say 3. I think this year it all depends on the playoffs really for Talladega. But, like, the stakes are going to be so much higher at Talladega if it is for, like, the playoff thing. I feel like so many more people are going to be pushing it harder when there's some teams that aren't in the playoffs that aren't going, like, as hard as the other teams. So there should be this clash of everybody. Daytona's obviously, well, not obviously, but I feel like Daytona's definitely gonna at least have one for their 2 races. So I'm gonna go 4 in total.
Really? See, here's the thing with Talladega. Yes, we had a flip this year in the Dega Spring Race.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing.
They banned wall riding, and then he decided to wall ride, but I don't know.
Yeah. Seriously, Corey. But no.
Hey, at least whenever he flips,
Look
Reddick
back
wins.
at 20. What happens if Reddick flips? Anyways, we've already had that happen. He sucks. Anyways, we have yet to have a blowover at Talladega in this car. Closest we've gotten to, if you remember this, was Brad Keselowski 2023. And then Cindric, obviously. We have yet
What was the last flip? Was it Logano at Talladega for the Cup Series?
LaJoy.
Oh, yeah, but like blowover flip.
Blowover? Yeah, I believe it is Logano. If we're talking about just Cup Series, Logano.
Yeah, okay.
But 2023, Blaine Perkins was the official last blowover flip at Talladega. And Daytona, I just want to point out this year, we had Harrison Burton in the Daytona, Jesus Christ, the Daytona 500. I don't know why I say spring, summer, fall, or winter. I'm sorry, I'm stupid right now. He should have gone flying. There's no way that he is so. If you remember how he got turned off Hocevar, that car should have been airborne. We had obviously the second Daytona race where McDowell in the corner just tried to do his best Tony Stewart impression, and Barry just did a Barry. There's really no to anything else. And obviously, I'm gonna go back to all of next gen. Harrison Burton in the Daytona. Oh God, Harrison Burton again. Harrison Burton in the Daytona 500 gets flipped over, and then in 2023 there was no flip in the 500. Not even an airborne crash in the 500. But then obviously, probably the most famous next gen crash, Ryan Preece. That was at Daytona. We've had 3 blowover flips at Daytona. But
yeah, Daytona's like a guarantee for
Briscoe
flips.
And McDowell's near blowover.
Yeah.
And those also. The summer race is always way more chaotic. Like the first race, they're just feeling out Harrison Burton wrecked because Brad Keselowski's a genius pusher.
Well, also, I guess everybody's trying to go for a playoff spot. They're all going to go crazy for it. Because even, like, the bad teams have a chance. Like, this year, obviously, the last race of the season was of the regular season was Darlington.
It was Darlington, yes.
So, I was there.
I still have PTSD from the last 2 races of the regular season.
I was at the Darlington race, but I was going for Busch, actually. But then I was like, you know what? I'm thinking I might start liking Chase Briscoe. And now Chase Briscoe is my second favorite driver.
Under pressure, Chase Briscoe is a great driver under pressure.
Well, at Darlington, I think he's a great driver.
But also Bristol, under pressure, he needed a really good finish, and he gets like top 10 in the stages. I believe 5th place finish.
Yeah, McDowell also did that too, and then he ended up keeping to stay pretty good, and now he's stayed pretty good at Bristol.
But last thing I want to mention before I think we should wrap this first episode up is this is random, super random, but I just want to talk about RCR real quickly. Between the start of the season, they were really good with Kyle Busch. Mid-season, Busch just saw a wall and wanted to hit it every week. And then after Indy, when Kyle Busch had a good race and threw it away because he wanted to make a move on Hamlin, got a little too greedy, it seemed that they just almost like took that personal and just came out of the gates with an Austin Dillon win. Where did that come from? a bit disappointed. Why couldn't they give that car to Busch? He actually could have done something to it and not made the win illegal.
But be fair, right? Austin Dillon dominated that
was
race.
fast. He didn't really dominate.
Well,
Was
not
a
dominate,
really
yeah.
fast car, and then like the last 50 laps, he was the car to beat.
I think he just started. Anyways, I think he was like the driver to beat that day, and he deserved that win. But obviously, what he did was not the greatest way to get it.
Yeah, the Logano one, I think, is the acceptable one. I think if it was just Logano, they would have kept it. But it's right hooking Hamlin. That was the dangerous part. I don't know if you knew this, but Hamlin's impact was somewhere from like 30 to like 38 G. For a side-on impact at Richmond like that is huge.
Sorry, I just walked away. What did you say?
Sorry, like the right hooking Hamlin. That's where I'm gonna call the red flag on that win. The Logano part, I think they would have kept it for the viewers. I'm sorry.
Well, that's just bump.
For Richmond standards, 30 to 38 G on a side impact like that is a hard hit. And obviously the spotter saying wreck him. That's never.
I think the only reason they didn't like do something is because like the people that got wrecked were Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, like
the two heels of NASCAR. But
and then there's
NASCAR officiating finally had the brains of, oh geez, Denny's legitimately hurt in the car because he was hurt. He had a minor shoulder injury, I believe.
And also like Logano running
it hurt him. And I think that's when NASCAR had to step in and be like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't gonna look like it's gonna look good because people are just gonna do a lot of raise hell, praise Dale things on this finish. But if we're just gonna allow people, because it's a short track, if we're just gonna allow people to right hook someone in a short track, imagine Bristol.
Yeah.
Entering turn 3, you just come down and right hook someone head on the wall for the win. That hit's gonna hurt. Because you're going like almost 150 entering turn 3. So I think that's when NASCAR stepped in and realized someone got hurt exiting turn 4 at Richmond. We have to step in. It's gone too far. And NASCAR made the right call. Yeah. I love how this started on an RCR thing, but I'm going to see you on the RCR thing.
Well, I mean,
speed is incredible. Where do you think they're going to do in 2025?
I feel like Busch is going to get a win. I mean, that's my question that I asked Eric Estep in the video, if you saw it. I don't know if you did.
I haven't saw it. Yeah, I will, though.
I'm like the second question in there. Anyways, I think I agree with mainly everything he's saying. If he gets like you were saying, like a Dillon at Richmond equipment, he's going to win that race. Because he's by far a good enough driver. That's not the question. It's the equipment he's in.
I'm going to say it as a Busch fan for the first time. Y'all are going to hear it. I think he is slightly washed. But there is still something in the tank for race wins. He's just not the championship level driver that he used to be.
And it's like he didn't even do bad last year. It's just he finished second place. Like
he was one of the best drivers, and then the summer stretch, and he just
if you get rid of the summer, then he was a fine driver. That
he went from like 150 points in to like 120 out by the end of the summer break. That's like a 270 point loss. That was disappointing to watch as a Busch fan.
You never know if it's like, actually no, that's just a theory. That couldn't be it, but that's probably gonna do it for this. Because we said 10-15 minutes and we went 34 minutes and 23 seconds and counting.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. If you somehow enjoyed this first episode, then make sure to subscribe to AHP's channel. He will most likely leave a description. Jesus Christ. He'll most likely leave a link to my channel somehow in the description. And remember, episode 2 will either be in like 1 to 2 weeks, and it will be on my channel. HP, any last words?
Yeah, basically what he said. Just look in the description to subscribe to him, to be looking out for his NASMAR race and the future podcast or whatever we're calling this episodes. And hopefully Everett will be able to join us to have a actual racer in here with us. Maybe he can say some things that we don't think about. Maybe with like crashes and stuff. But that's basically going to do it for the first one. Hopefully we never have to do this long of one again. This took forever.
Alright. Hold on. I'm going to say something real quick.
Okay.
People in the comments, give us a name. I have a name. 3 dimwits talk about racing.
I can definitely put a poll on my channel about what y'all put in the comments, and then we can see.
But obviously the most liked answers we'll probably go for like 2 to 3 most liked answers will be part of the poll. Yeah.
And also tell us how you found this video too, if you've made it to the end, because we're gonna probably promote this on the NASMAR server and a bunch of other servers. So just tell us where you came from, if you found it on YouTube or something like that, because
I'm pretty sure we'll probably tell by people that are in the comments.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for me on episode 1. I am heading out. AHP, you can wrap this up alone.
I think we already wrapped it up pretty good, so.
Yeah, well, I will be heading out. See you guys in episode 2.
Alright, goodbye, Kraken, and goodbye to you guys.